in chapters 5 and 6 that great affliction precedes great deliverance. And this is a biblical principle. You just see it throughout all of biblical history. So Moses, it says, goes to the people. In chapter 4, he gathers all of the leaders of Israel together and says, guys, God says he's going to let you go. It's going to be awesome. They go, we don't believe you. He goes, you won't believe this. Watch this. He goes, see this? Watch this. And becomes a snake. And then he goes, guys, this is amazing, right? And then he doesn't run this time. It's very interesting when you read the story. He doesn't run this time. He picks up his stick and then he shows them, the leprosy thing. And all of them believe it. It's like, whoa, okay. So chapter 4, verse 30, they're like so excited because God's going to deliver them. But what they didn't realize is that great affliction was going to precede the great deliverance. Because in chapter 5, when Moses goes to Pharaoh, remember they're making bricks. They have a daily allotment. All of the families have a daily allotment of so many bricks that they have to produce. Pharaoh says, you know what? You guys are just being lazy. That's the reason you want to go and worship. You're already working 7 days a week. Oh yeah, you don't get Christmas off. You don't get holidays off. You don't get that. This is the life of a slave. But now you know what? You're going to go get your own straw. So now even the elements to start making these bricks, you're going to have to go and find. And so it describes them having to work longer and harder. And the pressure of it is so great. It says that their affliction is so great that they're crying out to Pharaoh. They're crying out, how can this happen to us? And then they end up seeing Moses in the last part of chapter 5. And they say these words to him, Moses, may God judge you. Look at this. May the Lord look upon you, Moses, and judge you. Why? Because you've made us odious in the sight of Pharaoh. You've made it harder for us instead of easier. Christian friends, listen. The prosperity gospel is believe in Jesus and your life's going to get really easy. That's not true because you're changing teams. You're going from the team of darkness to the team of light. And now Satan's going to be working. Friends, this is so important. It's all through biblical history that when you start to follow God, it becomes more difficult. It doesn't become easier. But the end is ultimately deliverance. Corrie ten Boom, you might remember her. She was one of those family members, the ten Boom family that was hiding the Jews when Hitler was trying to kill all of them. And somebody asked her one time, when you get discouraged, when you get down, when you're like, it's just so dark, how do you go on? What do? She says, you read the last chapter of the Bible. Why do you read the last chapter? Because there's a new heavens and a new earth where righteousness dwells. There's no more sin. It's like awesome, right? It's the great deliverance. But between now and then, it's not so easy. And so they didn't understand this principle, and they were discouraged by it. Friends, understand the principles so that you and I are not discouraged. It's important in the narrative. Now, God then demonstrates his glory. And what I want you to catch in this, in chapters 7 through 8, the bottom line is this: fear God. Why? Because fools ignore the signs of the times. Now remember in Exodus chapter 5, verse 2, that Moses goes to Pharaoh and says, let the people go. And he says these words, I do not know the Lord. I don't know this Lord. I don't know this I am you're talking about. Don't you know I'm a God? Don't you know I'm in control of this situation, Moses? Don't you know that I'm the one with all the authority? I'm the one with all the power here. And then the bottom line is this, is he's going to find out that he doesn't have quite so much power. In fact, as you go through the chapter, God specifically says that he's going to do all of these signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. Why? That the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord.